So this is the Wonder Worman worm bin, and the dimensions, I believe, they're 3 feet long and about 1.5 feet high and 2 feet wide. So it's made out of reclaimed wood we have a place here called Restore, and also from Packet, and the hinges on the back are also reclaimed and saved. The outside is stained with a non-toxic, environmentally friendly stain, so that it will preserve the one on the outside. And then I'll open it up, and inside you're going to find shredded newspaper. So that's also a way of recycling newspaper. They can be fed, the paper can be fed to your worms. Is a peat moss kind of blended with some straw, some eggshells, which will provide calcium content for the worms. There is some llama manure, some llama droppings, which is really good for the worms to eat. So this kind of will set you off with a good base for the worms. And then I'm just going to go ahead and dump this into the shredded paper. You know, the weight on it, I don't exactly know, but I know for sure that there's more shredded newspaper than there is this peat moss bedding. It's kind of, I'm trying this out. I used to do a 50-50 blend, and now I'm doing a little bit more of the newspaper mixture, and that's because it will provide the carbon that the worms need to live, and it also, once I get it wet, it's neat because it'll have all these bends and folds for the worms to go in.
Oh, okay.
And kind of, they like those little cozy spots. Usually it's about 2 to 3 buckets full of water. And the nice thing with the wooden bin is that if there is too much water in here, because the moisture level is one thing that you have to keep an eye on if it's in a plastic bin, but in a wooden bin you don't need to. The wood kind of regulates that. It'll absorb it if it's too much, so it'll kind of ease you into that part of composting, because that seemed to be the most difficult for me, was the moisture. So I will just kind of hand blend these together. So right now this is ready. It actually only took 2 of these buckets, not even. It's like 2 3/4, I guess, if we want to be a little bit more exact. And the way I can tell is that if I was to pick it up and squeeze, and if I get droplets like that, then it's ready. Okay. I don't want it to be picking it up and just like completely dripping water, dripping out. Just by squeezing and getting some, that's how I know. It's kind of like a wet sponge, is what everybody refers it to. So in here is here's a pound of red wigglers, and what I do is I'll just pull some out of my bins and weigh them as best as I could, just strictly worm weight. And then a pound is sufficient for this amount of space that they're going to live in. And what I like to do is put them right in the center of the bin, because they like to be together. Actually, they're pretty social. So yeah, they're going to actually go down pretty quickly because of the light. They're really sensitive to the light, so they're going to avoid the light as much as possible. So they'll be pretty. You'll see them move.
So in here we have lettuce from our CSA that I kind of forgot about.
Makes good worm food.
Yeah. It's kind of starting to rot.
No, and that's fine. You don't have to worry about that.
And then compostable baby wipes. Only 2 from this morning. And then some parsley. And I have some eggshells. So these need to be more...
I like to do that. Just hand grind them up in your hand is fine.
And then some carrots and some more parsley that I forgot about. Kind of forgot about a few things in my...
Isn't it amazing?
Well, I usually clean it out once a week, and I hadn't cleaned it in 2, so... Yeah. So, there you go.
And that's a feast.
Eat!
That's awesome. So, yeah, all you need to do is just kind of put it right on top, and then you can take some of the bedding and sprinkle it over. You get it pretty wet. I'll open it up. And this will help, you know, my theory behind it is that it'll help block out the light, even though the lid will do it also, but it'll just be a nice closer blanket or covering for them. They'll come to the top because these are surface dweller worms. They don't need much space to live in. That's why I only filled this about halfway with the bedding material. These worms only live 6 to 8 inches in really rich organic soil. And then about a year from now, you'll have really rich yay! Organic compost.
Hopefully I don't kill them.
You won't. Just call the hotline. Wonder Worman hotline.